Good evening, MagFed community and beyond. This is Ken from Reaper's MagFed. I'm going to do a very short, hopefully, episode of Ken Talks. And, with that in mind, I'm going to try to keep it short, 10 minutes or less. So, naturally, what I want to talk about here is, honestly, it's the EMF200, like, and what this means for, like, us, really. So, I know everyone's really got, like, a raging hard on, and they're still, like, poring over the pictures and the video that was leaked and the very recent live stream from Mr. Jack Woods. And, you know, there's not there's not really been like a comprehensive breakdown of what we've seen. And I do want to point to some of these things and take what you want, say what you want, thumbs down, thumbs up, rant on here. I don't care. But these are things that are worth note and we should take a look at. Like, as far as what's been revealed to us with the EMF 200, they've got that rear drop down ASA, right? They've got the uniblock engine ASA thing that it's all one piece and it goes right in the back, and that there is also what appears to be, a pops ASA on the engine unibody block thing in the back now that's going on. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've seen pictures from both sides. That looks super like a pops. And then, no one really has said anything about this yet, but very recently the Whisper Drive was put out by PB Glenn. That is, a natural upgrade for anyone who's trying to get, better efficiency and quieter shots out of the Gamma Core EMF platform. And sure enough, in this EMF 200 engine, you'll see that the core doesn't have those dotted holes like the regular EMEC engine. It has big, wide slotted gaps to allow for that extra airflow, just like you'll see in their GTEC and LV and all these other fancy brand new Gamma Core engines are all going to have that wide cutout inside the engine there, as opposed to the little dotted holes. Anyone who's taken apart a Gamma Core in one of these knows exactly what I'm talking about, and they've upgraded that as far as the drivetrain itself. So you can expect that obviously they showed it comes with that included. So, dissecting all that stuff and really understanding, what it means for us, they said the price tag on there, it's a little bit hefty, but a lot of that is something you might have invested already into building an EMF 100. Like, I bought my EMEC hopper fed for 225, 230 bucks. I bought the air kit and my grip, or sorry, the body kit and my air through grip for 300 bucks all in, and for like 500 bucks I built this bad boy, right? And this became my baby last year real quick. And as far as, you know, why do they even have to do this? The EMF's already perfect. Everyone's already bought one. Why do they need to do that? Really what they're doing is they're addressing the main three concerns that any and all of us holdouts had as far as uh, getting an EMF 100 to begin with, right? There was no rear ASA. There was, they had this tank thing down here. You couldn't have mil spec handguards, and also the magazines, like they're dead flat, dead straight. They're like bricks. They just look like bricks. And for better or for worse, any of us who said that, any of us who were holding a T15 and said, "Man, this feels so much cooler in my hands," they held us for that. And anyone who was holding out, much like I did, I sort of gave in and built one of these. The Gamma Core engine is just practically the end all be all of putting paint down range and not breaking it. And I'm all about that. And it's cheap. And it seems like, again, Jack said this openly, that this EMF 200 is not meant to replace this. They're going to continue to sell this platform. They're going to continue to support it. The magazines fit both magwells. That's a huge deal. But, only complaint I'm going to have is I know that those CF20 Pro magazines are about to be like 40 bucks, which I already think 30 bucks is just outrageous for these magazines to begin with. But I save all my money on the platform so I could spend all that money on the magazines. In any case, what does the EMF 200 mean for our market? He straight up said, this is not replacing the EMF 100. This is, again, very clearly for those of us looking for something closer to a one-to-one platform. It even looks like it has the breakdown pins in the front, but apparently, I say that literally. Apparently, it does not break down in that, you know, clamshell, break down the middle kind of way like an AR-15, M4, T-15 does. But does it need to? Do we really care? No. Most of those holdouts are upset about the mags that look like bricks, upset about not having the rear ASA, and not upset about not having this. When again, you take a look at this EMF200, and apparently they have addressed all three of those issues. You look at the stock, or sorry, the handguard on the front of this EMF200, and yeah, it's got those tabs over the front, but there's a lot of crappy mil-spec handguards that have those tabs and different kinds of those tabs and stuff like that, or vice versa. And apparently, to me, I would love to be corrected, but I also like being right. So we're all going to hope for the fact that it looks like they will take mil-spec handguards now, which leads me to my very last thing, right? My very last thing. Why did this look like this when they made it? This EMF 100. It didn't even look like this. We call it. It looks like a pressure washer. Thing looked like a Nerf gun or a toy, and anyone who was already holding an M4 in their life, or then was holding a T15 later because they held an M4 or an AR-15, or anyone who just wanted to hear the loud bang of a marker as they shot it and have it feel and look and rack like an AR-15, well, that was what the T-15 was for us, but all this ever did was look like a pressure washer. That served two purposes, right? Jack openly said today, like, hey, we made this out of spare parts practically. And they did. Like, practically out of spare parts. Most of the core components come right from the EMEC itself, and hence people like me taking the EMEC hopper and just converting it right over. So this was, again, not meant to look exactly like an AR or a one-to-one or something like that. You could carry it across borders, no problem, and maybe even, sell it in a country where owning one-to-one replicas and stuff like that is not legal either. So that was the thought I had always had, was that they had their idea was here to make something that didn't look like an AR-15 or an M4, so they could very easily sell it. It turns out they were just doing it that way because they were coming up with spare parts. Kudos to them on both counts, but now with the EMF200 platform, it kind of demonstrates that maybe they're not afraid to make something that looks very close to a one-to-one. It's very visibly not a 1-1 ratio marker, but it answers for a lot of the complaints that us holdouts had as far as this platform. Rear ASA, mil-spec handguard, air out the back, and magazines that don't look like bricks. And they are apparently, with this release, addressing all of that. And if you ask me, and I'm by no means some Planet Eclipse fanboy, I have gone through lots of effort to build like this absolutely the most cost-effective way that I could. But as far as I can tell, it's about twice the price if you want an EMF 200. And the only people that appeals to is people like us who are like obsessed with the T15 platform and the one-to-one ratio and that feel and that style. Those who don't care are going to be totally happy with this, and very likely still might buy one of those anyways. But just to sort of like dissect that stuff for you guys, it seemed like everyone's got like erections still, and they're not really processing it all. But I just wanted to like talk about it and like point to it. Again, these are huge things that they've made as far as like the new platform. They didn't even have to make a new one of these. We're practically all happy with this forever, but now they're making something that addresses the issues that the holdouts had, like myself. Again, curve mags, what these handguards. It goes a long way in answering for or appealing to the market of people who like absolutely don't want a pressure washer. So I expect great things. We can all expect great things from this. It's cool to see that the platform is moving forward and that we will get to have curved magazines and indeed a platform that supports all this stuff without having to need a bunch of mods, but it is indeed about twice the price anyways. So, hello, goodbye. This has been an episode of Ken Talks.